everybody, welcome back to Welcome Grove Homestead. I am in my kitchen right now because I made a special find. So we have all of these chickens that we've been overwintering, and we get the occasional egg that comes in, and we've found the occasional egg in places that it shouldn't be because our birds are free range during the day. So we were thinking there's gotta be a hidey hole somewhere. And I did find one hidey hole last week, but it wasn't a very big one. It was where the geese were laying their eggs, and we actually got a handful of goose eggs, as well as I think like 9 or 10 chicken eggs. It was like, hey, we found the hidey hole. We thought that was it. But then the hidey hole was not being replenished. So it was like, okay, it's not a current hidey hole. So the hunt continued, and I found the hidey hole. The hidey hole had 27 eggs in it. Now there are 29 eggs in this box because there were 2 in a nest box when I was out and about on my search, but I found 27 eggs in a hidey hole. I feel so accomplished. However, the problem with finding such a hidey hole is that you don't know how long that has been the hidey hole. So we are going to float these eggs and know that anything else we find in the hole should be fresh because it is a current hidey hole because I found a chicken in it. So, hoping that we are going to regularly find some eggs now because we've been like, oh, you know, there's like 2 eggs, there's 3 eggs, there's 7 people in our house. It's a lot of people to only get 2 or 3 eggs a day. So, yay for hidey hole. Now when I say floating, I literally mean I'm gonna put an egg in water and see if it floats. I'm sure many of you know that floating is a way of identifying if an egg is still edible or not. For those of you who don't know, basically when an egg starts to go bad, it creates gas in the egg. And what does gas do in water? It floats. So when you put an egg that is not good in water, it's gonna float. If it's still good, the egg's gonna sink. If it's kind of so you should probably use it first. It's gonna kind of like just stay suspended and not really float, but not really sink either. It's interesting phenomenon, love it. But that is what we're gonna do to identify if any of these eggs have gone bad or not. So here's our first egg. Put it in the water. It sank like a rock. So this egg is good. So all of these eggs are still good because they all sank. I'm a little surprised, but that's awesome. 29 eggs, since 2 of them were in a nest box and since they got kind of jumbled in here, they just got floated too. I knew they were fresh, but they were mixed in. But 29 fresh, good eggs. Yay! Now I did mention that our geese have been laying, and if you haven't seen a goose egg compared to a chicken egg, here's one of our chicken eggs. Here's one of our goose eggs. They are quite a bit larger. And they're delicious. I really did not anticipate that. So I heard that goose eggs are really better for baking. And just purely out of curiosity, when we had the first goose eggs come in, I was like, well, I've never had one. I've never used one. So we fried one. And you know, they're pretty stinking good. However, I have heard that waterfowl that does not have access to a pond has better tasting eggs because of the pond scum stuff affecting the flavor of the eggs. I do not know how much of that is true because the conversation was about ducks rather than geese, but our geese have not discovered that we have a pond. And I'm okay with that. And the eggs are delicious. So, if it's true, then I'll just know not to let the geese on the pond. If it's not, and the geese find the pond and we still get delicious eggs, that's cool too. Well, everybody, it is a few days later. We have been doing pretty well with finding eggs now on a fairly regular basis now that we know the hidey holes. The kids actually found yet another hidey hole, and it's really funny. I don't know if there's any eggs in it right now, But I'm gonna let you guys know where we have another hidey hole. It's like, I don't know, I don't even know how to describe it. It's not super hidey, but we didn't expect to find eggs on it. So when we finally did, it was like, oh, look, there's more eggs. Don't know if there's an egg under it, but there's a chicken on it. It's just a random tool shelf in one of the barns that they decided to claim. Like, no nesting material in it. They just said, this is a good place for eggs, and started shelving eggs. So it's very exciting that we are actually getting regular eggs now. Like, my skelter is full, guys. I'm so excited to be getting eggs right now. But today, we're gonna be working on some more cleanup, getting some more branches to the goats. I've been bringing them to them. I'm just not dumping like all of them all at once to the goats, just because they're not gonna possibly get to all of them when they're all in a pile. So it's easier to give them in smaller amounts, and then the goats can fully strip it, and then we can take those branches out and put fresh ones in. So today we're going to be putting fresh ones in. Well, you appear to be doing manly things.
Fooled them all again. This is such a cool battery-powered DeWalt nail gun. Beats the pants off of those. Oh my gosh, that whole... Yeah, that's fun. And so you can pull the trigger all day, doesn't do anything, fires it up. That's awesome. That was pretty awesome. That was our first like big set board, and it was perfectly measured. Love it when a plan comes together. We'll see how far we get on this today, but loving the progress so far. All right, our delivery just got here for more stuff. I'm gonna go unload it.
Well, let's go ahead and get this bolt in there.
Let's do this! Todd cutting joists. So did it fit?
It fits like a glove.
Like a glove.
No, just waiting on a screw gun and some screws.
Oh, I have one of those. So we are hanging the joists for the porch right now. We're using these joist hangers. We've marked all the things out at 16 inches apart, and we are gonna, I just think these are super cool. We're basically gonna slap them on there, and at each 16-inch mark, we pin them in, and then that holds 2x6s widthwise across the porch to put all the boards down on. And that's what we're doing right now, straight down the board. I'll show you. Look at these guys, hard at work. look at all these joists.
Look at all those joists.
You know, if they all fall down, we'd have to pick them up and do it again. We'd be rejoicing.
Wow.
Yes. Dad joke. With power tools. It's like the ultimate dad joke.
Is
Plus
it?
that came from your dad, which makes it the ultimate dad joke.
Motherlode.
The motherlode. Look at all that. It's all fancy and stuff.
And now I shall do the interpretive dance.
Mom, you can put pretty planters on here.
You're gonna have to
I know.
wait till we get home.
Do, 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 do,
Wow.
do, 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 do.
I feel enriched. Thank you.
That's my goal in life. It's awesome. It's a little high, guys. I think we need to lower it.
A little high?
A little high.
Well, it is evening. Getting out to do my evening milking with Miss Claire. And by the time I'm done with that, the light may be just about gone. She really does not like the mud. Like this morning, I was collecting her for milking and we had to walk through the mud, and so I had mud on my boots. So before I went into the stall, before I let her in the stall, I was kind of shaking some of the loose mud off my foot. She saw me doing that and started copying me and started shaking her back feet off. I thought it was hilarious, but I'm not sure that that specifically inspired her to do it, but it was funny that we were both shaking our feet off. She does not enjoy the mud. Thank you so much for joining us today. As always, this is your country nerd with a goat herd and a lovely milk cow, saying that you can grow where you're planted.